Good morning, afternoon and evening, my crazies. My name's Angela and I'm the Crazy Poppy Lady, and it's time for another yarn review. So on today's yarn review, it is the Nature Spun. Okay, and the colour I'm going to use is my scrap leftovers from the Pink Please colour. Okay, so let's have a quick nose at this label. Now this one was sent to me. I won it. Okay, now it is called Nature Spun and it is by the Brown Sheep Company Inc. Okay, that's who spun it and dyed it. Now this is 100% wool. Okay, the net weight on this is 3.5 ounces or 100 grams. There is approximately 245 yards or 224 meters per skein. The gauge is 5 stitches per inch and the needle size is a 7. Okay, and of course it is a hand wash only. Now this was made in the USA. God, I can't believe I didn't see it. It's a big letters. Right, okay, it is a hand wash only due to the wool content. Now, as I have stated before, I have an intolerance to wool. It normally is quite itchy and scratchy for me. So I decided that I wasn't going to make a clothing item or a wearable with this. Instead, I was going to make a display item, as it is such a precious yarn to me because I want it. I've made the display item and it will be coming out every year. Right, so let's move these out of the way. Now, as you saw earlier in the week, I made some pumpkins for the breast cancer awareness. Okay, the link to those will be up here to my video, which will take you through to the pattern creator. Right, so let's move those out of the way. Right, so for this a little sample today, I am going to be using a 4mm hook. And I am just going to do a quick swatch sample as I've done previously, so you can see how nicely it works. Right, so starting off with our chain. As you can see, it pulls through quite nicely. I am keeping my tension quite loose on it though. Okay, so now for our single crochets. As you can see, there's no real separation, but then as I said, that is because I am keeping my tension really loose. But as you can see, it brings up such beautiful stitch definition. It's not overly scratchy. I would say in the big scheme of things, with the scratchiest yarn I've come across so far, which was the Aldi Large Cakes. And this one is definitely not as annoying as that one. It is rough, and I assume it would soften up once you wash it. But I may be wrong because I haven't done a lot of items with wool-based yarns. Right, I'm going to speed through this row and then move on to the half double crochets. Right, now time for the half double crochets. being a bit cheeky with this because some of my placements have not been perfect. Okay, because of course, as you know, I will be frogging this back shortly. So sometimes it's good to have a stitch in the wrong place to see how well it frogs it out. That's my excuse and I'm sticking to it. Now time for the double crochets. Okay, so there we go. We have got our 2 rows of singles, a row of half double and a row of double. So let's have a think. Let's do a silly stitch. And now to finish the row off, I'm gonna do slip stitches. They're the tightest of all of them. Oh. Okay, so now I'm having issues. Now I'm catching. Start again. Right, so now let's chain up 1, turn, and I'm going to do some slip stitching because hey, that's a nightmare to frog, isn't it? And then once this row is finally done, we'll get to frog it back. Right, so as you can see, it glides really nicely over the hook. There are points where if you are pulling this yarn too tightly, it will split on you, or you will end up going through the stitch rather than through your work. Right, so here is my cheeky little sample. So let's take it off, and now the fun bit. It's time to rip it. This is going to be shown in real time. Okay, so that first row of slip stitches, no problems. Now we are on to the across stitch double crochets. There's a little bit of tugging, but not a great deal. Okay, so let's turn it round. Now onto our double crochet. Again, tugging at top and bottom of stitch, but nothing too untoward. And now onto our half double crochet. Flick it round. Now the singles. Oh. Yep, there's a little bit of tugging there. Back down for the other row of singles. Oops, sorry. And now the telltale chain. Ready? Go. So as you can see, for frogging purposes, this yarn is absolutely lovely to work with. To be honest, it's nice and smooth working on your hook as well, especially if you are paying attention to your project. You won't have any issues at all. If you do go down hook sizes, then what is recommended, expect there to be some tugging when unfrogging, and also the possibility of working through the yarn rather than the stitch as you go, so it's splitting slightly. But other than that, it's not that bad. It's not overly scratchy, although personally I wouldn't wear it against my skin because my skin don't like it. But other than that, I enjoyed working with it, and as you can see, it does make some absolutely beautiful projects with a brilliant stitch definition. So that is it for me for today. Thank you ever so much for joining, and I will see you again really soon. So if you can, please stay in and definitely stay safe. Ta-ra for now, everybody.